Hello, it's Jennifer. Today is April 9th and I'm out in the garden looking at my small tomatoes, doing some maintenance, pulling some weeds. So I thought I'd go ahead and give a 10-week update video. This is the little bites. It appears to maybe be the first of the tomatoes to fruit. So as you can see there, some small fruits. I am tickling the other flowers with my handy dandy electric toothbrush. So if you've seen that before, it simulates bees. You just go and you jiggle the flowers. So I'm hoping by doing this to increase the production of the tomatoes. I don't think that this plant is going to get much bigger, so I don't see any more growing tips on it, and I see only these suckers at the bottom, but I don't know if they're actually going to become anything. So we'll see if Little Bites here gets any bigger. If not, this is the full size it's going to get, which is about a foot. And this is the amount of tomatoes it can potentially produce. Alright, so this is my third attempt to talk about these Patio Princess tomatoes. Apparently, the neighborhood is conspiring against me by having dogs bark, trucks pull up, helicopters flying above, lawn mowing, leaf blowing. So I think at this point, whatever noise happens is whatever noise happens, and I'll try to talk over it. Anyhow. So this is a Patio Princess. I don't think it's reached its full height yet. Looks like it up here it still has some growing to do. It has, right now, I see one tomato on it, so that's good, and a bunch of flowers. I've already come through with my electric toothbrush and gave the flowers a tickle. I've also gone through and fertilize them, so I like to use the fertilizer sticks, the organic ones from Joe, and I usually just push 3 or 4 of those in the ground around the base of each plant, about maybe 4 to 6 inches out. I did the same for these peppers. These are mangaji peppers. This one's looking pretty good. This one I'm concerned about. It looks stunted and possibly eaten, so I may cut these little buds off and see if anything can be done, or I may pull this plant all together and put in a different pepper, since this plant over here seems to be doing just fine. Again, I look at the Patio Princess. I grew this variety last year and it got to be about 2 feet tall. So I expect the same from this, and they don't need a cage typically or any support until they actually start getting tomatoes on them. So I guess it's a question of, should I support them now or should I wait until they need it? I don't know, because in a way I don't know what kind of support they're going to need until the tomatoes come on. So Patio Princess. This one is the super bush. It's the first time I've grown it, so I don't know how big it's going to get. It's probably one of these ones that says it's going to get 3 to 4 feet. I'm concerned about the yellowing leaves at the bottom here, but I'm going to go ahead and give it some fertilizer spikes today, see if that helps. Again, I like to use these organic fertilizer spikes from Job. I ordered these off of Amazon. They look like this. And they smell kind of like multivitamins, a little bit. So just stick them in the ground, like so, around the plant. And then it's time-release nutrients for the plant as you water. So hopefully this isn't too much for the little plant. I'm trying not to go anyway. Alright, these are surrounded by, I think these are crystal wax onions, and now that we're having longer days, they're starting to thicken and show signs of bulbing up. So this might be a conflict with the tomatoes, I'm not sure, but usually when they start bulbing up like this, I like to increase the watering of the tomatoes. Not the tomatoes, of the onions. Sorry. So they can have bigger bulbs. We'll see how this goes. So far, the plants seem to be okay. Alright. The next plant is the Tasmanian Chocolate. I've grown this before, and it got about 4 feet tall, but I grew it late in the season last year, so it really didn't have time to grow and flourish. Instead, it kind of went dormant for the winter, and the tomatoes it produced were small, hard, and heavy. So hopefully now that I've planted it in the spring, I can really see what this tomato plant can do. So it's got some flowers on it. I don't see any fruit yet. I also don't see any suckers on this plant. But I do see 2 branches here, 2 branching off. And it looks like it still has an active growing tip. It's surrounded by some of the crystal wax onions. And these are clearly starting to bulb. Hopefully I'll be able to get these out of the planter soon. I do like crystal wax onions. They taste mild, and they're really good on salads and stir fry. This tomato smells strongly tomatoey. The dirt also smells tomatoey when I disturb it. So I'd say this is a happy plant. Yep, got a little sticky sweat on it. So that's the Tasmanian Chocolate. And over here is the bush steak. It's basically gotten as tall as it might get. It might grow maybe another foot. It's starting now to just put out the flower buds here, the first set. This plant typically gets more bushy, so hopefully it's still just a young plant and not a failure here. I go ahead and get some fertilizer sticks for it, and then also take a look at this pepper plant over here that doesn't look so happy, but maybe it'll benefit too from the fertilizer sticks. So it's a lot quieter outside today, so I'll talk about the last plant here. This is Inca Jewels, and this is a little paste type tomato. It's looking pretty stringy. Still, I don't know if this is going to grow much more. I think I might want to try this one again. It may have been too cold for it when I originally planted it, because it doesn't look like it's going to grow much more past what's already here. Okay, these plants over here are all bush steak. You'll notice that this one here is quite a bit larger than these other ones. So up until yesterday, these 3 were all planted in I think there are 25-gallon planter bags, so fabric bags. I went ahead and changed those all out for these. I think these are 10-gallon plastic planter pots, nursery pots, to see if that was an issue. I noticed in the past that nursery pots really, not nursery pots, the fabric pots don't really work well for me, and they don't really work well for tomatoes, regardless of the size. So hopefully that these are better for retaining heat, as well as keeping the water inside the pot. So something I noticed with the fabric pots is that the water that pools up on top spills out the side of the nursery pot instead of the outside of the fabric pot instead of going down into the soil. So we'll see if these guys catch up. Hopefully they do. And that's these over here. There's one more plant to go. The final of my small tomato plants is Atlas. And it's doing well so far. So if it's like last year, this is kind of deceiving. And it'll get much bigger than this very quickly. So it's already got some flower buds on it. So there should be some tomatoes starting up soon. I probably need to start supporting this with a stake in the middle. So this plant should probably get as tall as the support here, which is about 3 feet. So I'll go ahead and do another video in 2 weeks, see how these are going. By then, most of these plants should have some small tomatoes on them, and we'll see how they're doing. I'm starting the next round of plants since these will be done probably mid-May. So I'll do another round of small plants, choose some new varieties, and see how those perform. That's all for now.